Hello, I wanted to come on here and talk about the most important thing I have ever learned and what I consider to be the most important aspect of awakening, as being awakened in this physical world, at least if you have a similar constitution as me. Everybody's different, so this may not apply to you. What I'm going to talk about is how the willingness to feel is the most important decision that you could ever make. So the causal plane is the mental plane, and above that is the level of identity. So if this applies in manifestation teachings, for example, when people say if you identify as wealth itself, as a wealthy person, then your beliefs and your thoughts and your emotions will basically trickle down from that identity. And what I want to share is that working on the level of emotion intentionally puts you in that level of identity, because the willingness to feel puts you in the vibration of pure consciousness, which does not reject anything, which allows everything, which is everything. So the resistant ego, the fear-based ego, is an escape artist, and it has really crafty ways of avoiding feelings. And in reality, the only thing that we fear in life is not a particular condition. It's not even death. It's a feeling of helplessness. It's a feeling of grief. It's a feeling of despair, a feeling of shame, of rejection. So in spirituality, there's the teaching to observe from a neutral standpoint. And what I'm going to say now is that that might not be enough for you to truly clear a pattern of reactivity within yourself. Because if you are disconnected somatically from your experience, you might observe all day long. You might say, well, I'm awareness and everything going on, thoughts, emotions, that is not me. And so I can just observe, and I can park myself in awareness and just watch. And perhaps eventually that would slow the momentum of the reactions. But my experience has been a return into the soma. So a return into the body, because you could really split yourself and stay in the mental realm, and you could understand every nook and cranny of why you are who you are, why you react in certain ways. But no matter what you understand, if you avoid descending into the soma, into the somatic experience of your pain, the pain will persist. And that's not a bad thing, but your true nature is joy. And I'm also not saying that my goal or anybody's goal should be to eliminate pain from their experience. My message is to be willing to fully feel everything going on in your body, because by the very decision of no longer fearing an emotion, you are liberated. You have no fear, because like I said, the only thing we truly fear is a feeling experience. So what I tell people that I work with, both consciously in coaching and in Rohan, is to put their awareness from here down. So we tend to, even if we're conditioned spiritually to observe, you feel yourself as up here or out here, just looking kind of down at what's going on. But when you go in, when you descend in, when you push yourself, your consciousness into the somatic experience, when consciousness touches energy, the energy transmutes. When presence encounters any emotional energy with love, because it is love, the energy disperses. So I thought that this was a good opportunity to share this with you, because I can demonstrate it right now, because I am feeling like a revved up kind of anxious feeling, kind of the need to control. And so I'm going to show you how I do it. And this is the most powerful thing, like I said, the most powerful thing I have ever learned and that I could share with anybody. So I'm in a new environment right now. I'm in Asheville. I'm here for a wedding. And my usual comforts, my usual routine, all the things that soothe me, right, that give me comfort and security are not here. And I don't have any problem, or nor am I suggesting that you don't create routine or that you don't create structure in your life. I personally want to be able to feel liberated wherever I am. I don't want it to depend on anything. So if you resonate with that, this might help. It might be helpful. So I don't have my usuals available to me right now. So I noticed that there's a tension in my second and my third chakras. And if your mind is, there's a line in the Course in Miracles, which I adore, and it's a healed mind doesn't plan. And so what I notice is that my mind is planning, trying to plan, trying to control, trying to say, oh, tomorrow I'll get up at this time and I'll go to this place and I'll make myself this. There's this complete feeling of powerlessness and lack of trust in this new environment that I will feel secure and nourished. I have very specific biorhythms. I have, my needs are unique to me. And so in my usual life, I make sure that I honor those needs. It's not as easy to do when you're in a new environment. I used to go on vacation, and I wouldn't go on vacation unless it was a place where I could work out, where I could, where I would have some aspect of being able to control the environment. And again, that's not bad. To this day, I would choose, that would go into my choosing process, but I don't want my freedom and my joy to depend on anything. So the meditation here, the how-to, is to drop your consciousness below here, right? So already I feel a tightness in my neck. I feel kind of a collapsing in my lungs. I feel an agitation, a heat in my third chakra. And underneath that is, in my second chakra, is like this lack of trust that I will be okay. And so there's a panic. So all these things are happening simultaneously. So without needing to understand it, just somatically going into it. So not just observing it. I just told you what I observe. But taking my consciousness in and deep, feeling the heart chakra, and breathing into the throat, breathing into the lungs, opening the chest. Opening your body allows energy to move. Drinking water allows energy to move. So opening my body up and making myself available for this experience totally. And so what I'm doing is I am encountering this energy, this emotion, these movements with love. And what's happening is that these tight energies are going like this. They're dispersing, they're opening up. the revved up feeling that I felt more in my central channel in the chakras. They're kind of like spreading out into my arms. I feel my face vibrating. The energy that's stuck like this, your willingness to go into it somatically just opens it up like a flower. And some energy might take longer to surrender than others. This is not about an outcome. This is not about getting rid of anything. This is about inviting your consciousness into your somatic experience to the furthest degree that you can. And do not underestimate the power of your breath. I notice that in these tight areas, when I hit that tight area, there's a tendency to hold the exhale, so I breathe more. Gosh, even that one breath, I feel my whole face vibrating. What happens is that when you go deeply, all energy, all life is joy, is bliss. But the mind takes experience and twists energy into a knot that you experience as a negative emotion. So by going into the feeling of the knot, and let me tell you something, I have gone into and surrendered certain grief, and my body has convulsed. Don't worry about what happens. Just know that the only thing that you fear is a feeling. And also know that the nature of the universe is love. The nature of the universe is not neutral. We attract experiences that expose to us our perceptions of life so that we have the opportunity, if we will take it, to release it so that more of us can be available to life. And what's interesting is when you go into a feeling very deeply, you might get an image of where it started. You might hear very clearly the dialogue you're having, the dialogue that's creating the energy, the emotion. But doesn't really matter. What I'm saying is your decision to just work with the energy itself in an intimate way, your willingness to do it, will free you, will free all energy that is trapped in reactive patterns that you allow to release. Gets repurposed into creative energy. It gets repurposed. It creates space in your physical body for you to be able to experience life with more presence, more vibrancy. More of you is available to the people in your life, to this moment. So this is by far the most powerful thing I have ever learned. I'm still feeling all kinds of tightnesses. I feel the energy kind of moving all over my body right now. And if I wasn't about to go to a rehearsal dinner, I would lay down for a few moments, just breathe, and let the energy be there. Make my body available to it so that it opens. Surrender to it. Completely surrender to it. And if it's hard for you, make it easier for yourself. Try lying down on a bed, right? You'll get so good at it that you could be anywhere. Gosh, when I'm on an airplane, I feel things so strongly. Like sometimes when I'm in a very bumpy flight, my heart will start beating fast and I just breathe so deeply and I just encounter that experience with love. And that experience for me is very severe. heart pounding. Sometimes I get visual distortions when I feel that level of discomfort. Doesn't matter, just be still and feel with your heart. And the energy will transmute. It will repurpose itself into more bandwidth that will be available to you to experience your life. So in a nutshell, if your mind is racing, you are avoiding a feeling. If your mind is planning, controlling, arguing, you have avoided a feeling in the body and the energy has gone up and become a stream of thought. So that's a marker. So no, okay, maybe I can go below the neck and encounter whatever I am feeling with love. And again, observation and awareness. Observation and awareness has a certain cold quality. It's not an intimate, it's not full. What I'm telling you to do, if it resonates with you, is to go in and to literally merge with. How do you heal separation? You merge. You come back. Merge with your emotional experience. Merge with your body so that all of you is in one place. Very simple and just tremendously, tremendously powerful. So I hope that this resonates with you, and I hope you have a beautiful day.